Hello, welcome. Oh, it's a hot one today. Well, as we go into this month, it's important for you to know, I've been getting a lot of the calls from everybody. Everybody's wanting to know what's going on, what's happening. And I recognize that we have to totally surrender. That we all think we know what's going on and we have to totally admit we don't. And that if everything's happening in the collective moment to moment, things are always changing, right? We all know that we create our own reality. And I think sometimes we go around like puppets. We create our own reality, but then when something goes wrong or whatever, we don't want to talk about it. When we have to remember, we create all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when nothing's happening, even though we can all feel it and all of that, I'm looking at my hair sticking all out. Anyways, even though we can feel it all and nothing is happening, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it means that things could be a lot worse, and by all the prayers going out and all the healing going out, that maybe that's really about changing the reality. Like, oh no, all you were wrong. You said this was going to happen and it didn't happen. Well, isn't that a good thing? Sometimes I think we all have this death wish that we're just waiting for something to annihilate us or the planet. And it's like, no, that's not what we want. We're here trying to make a difference. We're here trying to bring love onto this planet. We're here to support one another and be in unity consciousness. And so many people have such a hard time with it. You know, you could be on a plane, you could be looking at somebody, observing them that's different than you and saying, oh my God, look at that person making all that noise or whatever. And instead of just saying, okay, they're different than me, I recognize that. Aren't we here observing the many colors of the rainbow, the many flavors of ice cream that we all came to experience and explore? I think we really forget about that, and it's important that we be mindful of this. We are in troubled waters. We all know that. And all you have to do is turn the news on, which I don't watch, to see it. But even if you don't turn the news on, you can feel it. So what I want to say to you is, be in the place of non-judgmental curiosity. I took classes from this gentleman, Dr. Dave, at one time, and he always used to say non-judgmental curiosity. Well, I get it. You're observing and going, they're a different flavor than me. They're a different color than me. They're a different culture than me. Isn't that interesting? Without any kind of judgment at all. And you really have to catch yourself, because if somebody's different than you, the first place that people want to go to is, well, I'm right and they're wrong. That they don't have to explore these things in the way that you may think. So you're in this place of allowing yourself to just ride the wave of life, coast, and say, okay, all these people acting out, having violence, expressing it, I don't have to be like that. I can be the one that holds the olive branch and the peace and the Christ consciousness. And knowing that the Christ grid is where we want to be. We want to be anchored in that Christ grid, right in the center of Gaia, saying that's all about peace, love, and acceptance and forgiveness. And that's what I choose to align with. I do not choose to align to all these horror stories going on. Now, I will admit, when you start to hear all the possibilities of the timelines that are going on, yeah, if you get caught up in that and you're having a bad day and oh my God, it's scary, all of it starts to spin in your head. What would I do? Where would I go? What if we have no food? What if this happens? What if? And 9 out of 10 times that doesn't happen. It's just a process through our own fear. So if we stay in a place of saying, that's not my timeline, right? We have all these different possibilities. We have all these different timelines that suggest you can be in the best possible place of your life or in the worst possible, and everything in between. So if I don't want that to happen, I am not going to entrain or vibrationally connect with those realities. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm a good person. I'm doing the best I can. Kindness is number one. Acceptance is number two. And so with all of that, that's my reality I want. And I'm going to hold to it. And I'm going to ask for all those beings of light to help support that for the earth. Because I do know, even the people that don't know, if they're in a remote area on the other side of the world, maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't have TV. Maybe they don't know what's going on and they're going about their lives just fine. So ask yourself, what gives me peace? Inside my heart, does it give me peace to worry about all the what ifs? And I'm pretty sure you're going to find the answers no. Or does it give me peace to think of the highest and best and to hold that vibration and to call in all those beings of light that can help assist? We call in the angels and the archangels and the star beings and all of them. You know, and it's kind of funny because a lot of times people have an affinity to one or the other. Oh, well, I'm a Christ girl, and the rest of them, no, I don't need anybody else. Or I'm just an angel girl, and I can't call in star beings. Well, guess what? With everything going on right now, call in every single one of them. We need help right now. It's like or it feels like a major SOS going out to whoever will listen. And we do need help. We need help from our star beings, brothers and sisters, the galactic, all of them that have the same inner knowing that love is all there is and what it should be based upon. Even the animals, they're trying to help. They're trying to warn us. I mean, it's so bizarre. If you see how the animals have been acting lately, really interesting. I went to the beach one day with my daughter and I'm observing the ocean and it's placid. It looks like a lake. There's not one bump, one wave, nothing. It was just flat. And even on the shoreline, when the waves came or the tide came in, it just was like bloop, that was it. And I said, the tide is changing. And what does that mean to you? That is something important. The tide is changing. We are changing. The circle as it's been is changing. And we have to learn how to exist, how to coexist with everybody else on this planet, all the beings, all the animals, all of nature, and get back to remembering that. Oh, I forgot to take the phone off, sorry. But getting back to that. And really knowing that your job is to hold firm, be the peace. Like Gandhi said, be the peace you want to see. And allow, as you look into the eyes of people that are troubled at this time or really concerned, that you can look in their eyes and you can see the piece of fear. And there's a nonverbal message going from your eyes to theirs, like, it's okay. I know. It's all right. We're going to be fine. And we send that message. So this is a very important time. And as we're coming up soon on another equinox and all of that, it's important to hold it. So I'm counting on you. I know each one of you are powerful and unique, and that you're all here to be in service. So whatever that looks like for you, thank you. All right, so the message for this week is going to come from Earth Magic with Stephen Farmer. I feel like I want to pull three. First one is nurturing. So it's interesting. It's a picture of Gaia's spirit overlooking the whole earth and all of nature. And that as we nurture ourselves, we really need to nurture this planet we're on as well, and everything on it. The next card is Harmony, which shows two musicians playing instruments, and it says music. And I know it says music, but I want to say it feels like muse, like a muse, you know, art, music, dance, all of that. I think that's what helps us to land in a better place. That's what helps us to be in a place of, you know, feeling better about what we're going through. And the last one is Desert Vision Quest. Well, we know Christ went to the desert when he wanted to get out of fear and collect himself together. And this says Vision Quest. What is it that you're trying to figure out? What is it that you need to know about for the next piece? And whenever I'm trying to think of the next piece, you know, look at what's coming up, what's behind you, all of that. And you may need to get away and have a little bit of a vision quest to figure it all out. So that's the first piece here, and we're going to read them. Gaia, Earth Mother, Mother Goddess, Great Goddess, Terra Mater, and Gaia. In the Greek pantheon, this magnificent being was Earth personified as a goddess. It says, receiving can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give to you. It may be a stretch to do so at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit needs to be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. One way to achieve this is to mature yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self-nurturing. What comes to your mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for yourself? Set aside your ritualized habits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nourished. Lie on the earth, ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her, and relax into her loving care. That was a good one. Music. What would life be like without it? Interesting. It says, this is a time of considerable harmony for you, and where the various elements in your life are flowing together smoothly. Just as in musical harmony, it is the interface of these elements that merge into a cycle of symmetry and balance that evokes feelings of harmony. The challenge is to sustain this inner accord even when there is considerable dissonance outside of your own mind, heart, and body. Note the sensations, emotions, and thoughts you experience when everything seems to be moving along well. Take some deep breaths. Let your breathing be the anchor that reminds you of the state of consciousness. Whenever you perceive chaos around you, know that it is a mirror for your inner turmoil. Every time you exhale, you are releasing the energy of your internal state of harmony into the world, and will have amazing effects. Nice. So we're going to pull one from Work Your Light Oracle. What do people need to know for this week? Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? We're going to say warrior woman or man. Okay. Okay. These are the ones I have to search through so hard because they're not in. Here it is. You are here for a reason. You are being called to bravely pave the path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul-led life is not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul-led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the gatekeepers to our greatest gifts, and the more resonance we have towards answering the call, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I'm not afraid, I was born to do this." But the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you are feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. Courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears, opportunities to expand, rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then uncomfortable as it might feel, it's actually a sign that you're on the right track. Wow, that's a good one, right? All right. Then, so my feeling is the reason this has come up this week is it's getting a little tougher, whatever we see in front of us or not. Take your sword of truth out and keep reminding yourself, I am here because I'm supposed to be here at this time. There are no accidents. Starseed Oracle. I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, or uprooting. Look at those roots that run deep. So when we think of people that don't want to forgive others, those roots run really, really, really deep, right? And what is it doing? It's just destroying us. Spirit a long time ago gave me the name of a book around forgiveness that I'm supposed to write. And I always love the title, which I won't tell you right now, but love it because it's so true that one of these days when I have time, I will write it. And it's really about letting it go. So we're living in difficult times. When we're hurt and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defensiveness and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it on earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in both we and the world have been defensive. The shadows, hate, wounds, separation, severing, wrongs, and sadness. You may be called to explore how you, your ancestors, or your society have consciously or unconsciously inflicted pain on another. To find a way to drop the armor around your heart, see things as they truly are for all people. To say I'm sorry with an open heart and mean it. To be part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame, it's about unwinding the pattern that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in or do some healing work on your ancestral line. How have you been called to drop your defenses and unwind past wounds? Really interesting because I have somebody coming, an African shaman that is coming to do ancestral work with people later this month. And it's going to be pretty phenomenal. I had some work done before, and so did Gerard, and many of you had a short little abbreviated version, but to clear that line is amazing for your kids, for your loved ones, and all of that. Okay, last one, Divine Animal Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. What do you want to say to people for this week? Beaver. We know Beaver's the builder. That's a great picture. So we know beavers work. They build their homes, they build the dams. They're worker. So if I was to look at this, I would say, what is it that you need to get busy taking action on? What do you need to do? All right. The beaver is oh, wait a minute, I'm reading the wrong part. Here it is. To love your work is a gift. Find a balance between work and rest. It is worth aligning your work with your purpose if you can. Being positively, mindfully engaged in your work, no matter what it might be, is healthy. Someone may be attempting to micromanage you at your job, and this is not an optimum way to work. Perhaps it's time to be your own boss. So, just looking at the cards and taking a glance at all of them, Nurturing, Harmony, Vision Quest, Wonder Woman, Warrior Woman, I'm Sorry, and Beaver. So I would say, there it is. We've got nurturing and going out and being your own muse, and then going in a vision quest. So that's all kind of downtime. And then we've got do your purpose, say you're sorry, and do the work. So it is saying the balance between work and play, or taking care of yourself and being there for others. Really, really strong with this. So that's what I want to say. Whatever you're not doing, if you're not taking care of yourself by playing and doing all that, that's where you need to put energy in. Me too. And if you're not doing your soul's work or taking action on anything you're trying to create for goals or your vision or dream, time to take some action and then find the balance with both. So really give it some thought about what I've already said to you today about, helping others. And I'm going to pull a Mary Magdalene card. I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to pull the short version here just for the final piece of this week, the frosting on the cake. Courage. You have the courage to say yes to yourself as well as to say no to others. Isn't that interesting? We always forget about that. We have to learn to say no. And, saying no is an act of love, not just for yourself, but for others too. Do you want to do something you don't want to do, and then you're putting your energy into it? I often think about that when we go to, when you go to restaurants and you see cooks, chefs, and they're cooking, and they're screaming and yelling and smacking things down. Certain culture restaurants have this. We're not going to mention any. And you know that this isn't good. Where do you think all that anger's going, right? You're eating it. So you don't want to do something, whether it's cooking for your family, whether it's doing something else. You don't want to be doing that and not wanting to have your heart in it, because nothing good will come of it if you do. So this week, do something good for yourself. Say no to at least one person or one thing in your life. You can always wait till the following week, unless, of course, you're not doing anything. Then take action. I love you. I love you all. You're in my heart every day and in my prayers. Thank you for supporting us. Bye-bye.